Welcome back to the channel. Real quick, I want to go over a procedure. First of all, I'm in the middle of removing this transmission, but I heard a guy. I was talking to a guy on one of my subscribers on my YouTube channel. And he was talking about the fact that he had to take out part of the exhaust system just to remove the axles. I assume he was talking about the right side. Okay, so like I said, I was in the process of removing this, and I decided to stop and show my buddy how you do not, in fact, have to remove any of the exhaust system to remove the axles. All right, now I already got the left side axle out. Okay, you know about the strut bolts, and I even go so far as to remove the brake line just so I won't have to remove the calipers. All right, so you just bend it a little bit and put it back in place so you won't put any kind of pressure on this. Now, but I realized this and I stopped right there. Okay, I was in the process of moving this out, and it dawned on me. It came to me that I remember him asking about me. So here it is now. I'm gonna show you how you do not have to remove any of the axles. Now, I started this process on this side, but like I say, I stopped. All right, so I have the axle halfway out. Of course, you know about the big nut and the strut bolts. And what I'm gonna need you to do, let me grab my quick drill. Now, you can't be one of those guys that's Mr. Perfect, do everything Mr. Perfect right, or you're not gonna make any money in this industry. Okay, you will have to bend a few things, but you're not gonna damage anything. That's the whole point. Okay, so do not panic, man. It's okay. All right, so what I tend to do, like I say, I'm trying to avoid taking the caliper off. I don't want to disturb the brakes. So to do that, just simply take a brake line off right here at the hold down screw. All right, let's get this out the way. And it's gonna fall down a little bit, but like I say, it's okay, guys. All right, so you have this much room, this much leeway. You have this much leeway to deal with, so you can drop the brake caliper down a little bit. See, you're not gonna damage anything. That's not a lot of tension, but do it quickly. Okay, so get your axle out and then go from there. So what I'm gonna do now is set the camera down and show you how to get this out without removing the axle. All right, stay tuned. Don't go nowhere, man. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for hanging around. Okay, listen, man. We got the axle out of the knuckle. All right, just grab your hammer and tap. All we want to do is tap this outer axle away from the inner shaft. Okay, that is a shaft, and it's attached to the transmission and bolted to the engine block. Okay, so it's held on by 3 bolts. So what you're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get these 3 bolts out of here. Okay, but first, what we need to do first is let's grab your pry bar. I want to show you how to create you some clearance. Okay, so you'll be able to get this shaft out of here. Grab your pry bar and simply, all we're going to do is bend this shield. It's just the shield, guys. It's not going to hurt anything. We just want to bend it out the way so we can create some space so we can get this shaft out of here. We do not want to remove any parts of the exhaust system, okay? That's all you're doing. Just bend the shaft. You can bend it back in place when you're done, okay? Now, grab your 16mm socket and extension and your air ratchet. What we want to do is take these 3 bolts off, okay? We got to get them unbolted away from the block. Now let me move the camera and get you a better view. Here we are right here. Like I say, there's only 3 bolts holding this shaft onto the block. Okay, just simply get those off, and from there, yeah, it's fairly simple, guys. From there, we'll be able to just all we're gonna do is rotate the shaft backwards. So now, let me get you a different view. Okay, just start pulling, man. All you gotta do is pull this shaft away from the transmission. That's it. Because we bent the shield, you now created some space. You can get this inner shaft out without removing any parts of the exhaust system. All right, fairly simple, fairly easy. We did not damage anything. We did not hurt anything. Okay, so let's just lay this down right here. We're going to need that later during reassembly. Now, there you have it, folks. Just a little shield rearrangement, okay? I showed you how to remove the right side axle. Also, we got the left side out.
Fairly easy. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Alrighty guys, so y'all know y'all be asking me some questions that sometimes I just simply don't want to answer, and this is one of them. I get asked this all the time. Can you remove the timing chain cover off a 3/6 Pentastar without removing the valve cover? Well, according to this scene, absolutely, yes. Now, the bigger question will become, should you? Okay, it all depends, guys. If you can lift this valve cover up high enough to clear the top port of that timing chain cover, then yeah, go for it. Now, where's the timing chain cover? I think he's replacing it, but why? I do not know. Yes, here it is over here. Ooh, we got a squeaky clean brand new one right here. Why? Again, I don't know. Here's the old one. Okay, was it leaking? Was it cracked? Was it spewing out fluids everywhere? I don't know. I haven't yet to ever need to replace a timing chain cover. All right, but my buddy on the other end of the shop doing just that. I have no idea why, guys. Don't ask me. When you come here tomorrow, I'll find out and I'll let y'all know. All right, for now, stay tuned. Alrighty, guys. So y'all remember the last video I uploaded? We was talking about my man over here replacing the cover in a water pump, and I couldn't, for the life of me, fathom why he replacing the cover. The cover has no responsibility other than covering the timing chain setup, right, and sealing that portion of it. So why on earth do these go bad? How would they go bad? Okay, they can form a leak, but there's gaskets in between there to protect it from leaking. Now, but I found out after doing some investigation, that customer tried to do his own water pump, okay, and he screwed up. Here's where he screwed up. Okay, he where is it right here? Y'all see that? Yeah, that is, he broke a bolt off in there, guys. And this is at the bottom, so this would have been a tight fit trying to drill and tap that out. We didn't bother with it. Okay, he screwed this up, and you're simply going to pay. So he had to pay. He had to buy another cover. He really had no problem with it because he felt bad. He tried to do his own water pump and didn't finish the job. So he's like, y'all fix it for me, just fix it. But that's what's wrong with this cover. See, this is Chrysler Town and Country 2015 model. Now, y'all recognize that? Yes, guys, that is the new OEM Mopar transmission I put in about 60,000 miles ago. When I did that, I spoke with this customer and tried to inform her how to make this transmission last forever. So look what we're doing, guys. Look what we got here. That's right, service. It is 60,000 miles later. You're supposed to service this transmission every 60,000 miles. I got new ATF plus 4 Mopar. All this stuff is Mopar, guys. I got the RTV. We don't use a pan gasket. We use RTV on this, and of course the filter. Now I got 5-6 quarts of this. Now also she had I told her, y'all see those cooler lines? Leaks starting to form. Okay, they wasn't leaking when I replaced the transmission 60,000 miles ago. They are, however, leaking now. Look what I got here. Mopar cooler line, guys. So yes, we want to make this transmission last the remaining life of this van. So what we have to do, that's right, guys, we have to service it. Let's get it.